Right now, the internet is ablaze. Unimaginable has just occurred, and it's spreading more quickly than anyone can stop it. Kirk Frost, the cool-headed businessman of love and hip-hop, was involved in a brutal, jaw-dropping, career-ending altercation, and it wasn't with a stranger. No, it was with someone much too close this time, a fan's acquaintance. Yung Joc is someone the world never saw coming. What about the video? It's true. It's uncut, and it's really terrible. Joc is shown lying on the ground, barely conscious, while Kirk is restrained and yelling something that makes everyone shudder. The leaked film has already received millions of views. Joc had blood on his face. Chairs flipped. People are sprinting. There is anarchy. And you can see that something deeper caused this as soon as you saw Kirk's face, that expression of unadulterated anger. This was more than just a brawl. It was a personal matter. This was revenge. This is where it becomes even more horrifying, though. According to sources, Yung Joc is currently in the intensive care unit after suffering more than just a bruise. Yes, exactly. Internal wounds, ribs broken, jaw cracked. Recuperation could take months, according to doctors. You're undoubtedly wondering, what the hell could have caused all of this? Kirk is known for avoiding physical drama, so why would he lose control in this way? What actions or words may Yung Joc have taken to encourage Kirk to go thus far? All right, fasten your seatbelt. You'll see why this isn't just a controversy after we examine the true reason of this explosive eruption. The next explosion could be imminent, and it's a ticking time bomb. Every friendship in the business, so the saying goes, has a cost. However, what occurs when allegiance is broken and secrets begin to spill forth like blood from an open wound? Yung Joc and Kirk Frost were more than simply co-stars. Through years of chaotic reality TV, tumultuous romances, business endeavors, and on-camera drama, they were like brothers in arms supporting one another. They chatted like family, clinked glasses, and exchanged cigars behind the scenes. Unless someone pushes it too far, that type of tie is difficult to break. And that's precisely what took place. It took time for it to happen. There were signs everywhere, but no one was looking. For months, Kirk had been growing aloof, fewer grins. Hosts should be reduced. At events, keep quiet. He stopped laughing at Joc's jokes, stopped tagging him in things, and most definitely stopped being there when it mattered. The change began to be noticed by show insiders. Kirk's energy has been off ever since Joc crossed the line with someone close to him. One assistant producer wrote in a leaked direct message, "It goes beyond business, much deeper." However, nobody anticipated Rashida to be in that line. There were rumors that Joc was becoming emotionally, rather than physically, too close to Rashida. He was messaging her privately late at night, dragging her aside during shoots and checking in on her, and one of those messages, a screenshot was taken of it. Kirk was affected by it. It wasn't flirtatious, it wasn't sexual. However, it was something along the lines of, "I hope he's treating you right. You deserve better." Just enough to raise questions. Just enough to stab Kirk in the stomach. Then the incident at the studio. Joc was laughing and talking recklessly with a mutual acquaintance when Kirk interrupted their conversation, clearing up Kirk's mess, and "he knows too much" are mentioned. The smile that we all know Kirk for vanished the instant he heard his name being pulled through the muck. He rushed out. Don't shout, avoid conflict. Nothing but quiet, and something changed irrevocably after that day. Joc, however, did not retreat. Indeed, he began to exert more effort. One night, while visibly intoxicated, he went live on Instagram and blasted people for living a lie for the cameras, phony marriages, and foamy pals. Kirk understood the entire message, whereas fans did not. Joc used that as a warning. You don't publish that kind of veiled insult unless you're attempting to spark a conversation. Then the actual treachery occurred. A former woman of Kirk's, a long-buried name. He was at a party with someone he had a rocky past with, alongside Joc, hand in hand. That was it. Kirk remained silent. He did nothing except observe. Eyes met, rage building. The difference in energy was felt by all. Some even made an attempt to block him from approaching. However, it was too late. Kirk had already made up his mind that night that he wasn't going to walk away this time. The same night, Joc ended up in the hospital. He would see to it that Joc recalled his true identity. And he did, using fists, with rage, with treachery and years of suffering exploding simultaneously. And now, Joc can't talk and is in a hospital bed. Kirk's attorney is not returning calls. Rashida too. It's been 4 days since she last posted. There's going to be something significant. And if what we've been told is accurate, the battle was only the start. The video is violent, much worse than everyone anticipated. It begins with laughs, flashing lights, and loud music. Joc is positioned in the middle of the space, around by a few well-known individuals, including influencers, members of the love and hip-hop community, and other business professionals. Everyone is feeling good, until Kirk enters. It's evident in his eyes. He isn't there to have fun. He isn't even attempting to fit in. He appears to be fighting back a storm as his fists and jaw are clenched. Something inside Kirk snapped the second he saw Joc, according to one individual who was present that evening. Not even on television have I ever seen that expression on his face. That was true hatred. It took just a few seconds. Without hesitation, Kirk crossed the room. Even the music continued. People initially believed it to be a hoax, possibly one of those planned reality TV antics. But it was obvious that this wasn't for the cameras when Kirk pushed Joc back and Joc fell into the DJ table. The initial blow was swift, tidy, straight to Joc's mouth. Someone screams, and you hear it. Before Joc can raise his hands, the second one lands, followed by a third. Kirk wasn't flinging his hands in a furious manner. Like a man with a grudge, he was swinging, with each punch rooted in history. Despite their best efforts, people were unable to break it up. Kirk had been taken over. He repeatedly pounded Joc after tackling him to the ground with his knees on his chest. Joc then went limp after taking a final punch to the ribs. The video cuts at that point. That's when the terror began. They stole phones. Cameras were pushed aside by security. However, it was too late. The video had already been distributed. Within an hour, it was leaked, uploaded to Discord servers that are private, shared in chat rooms. And after that, straight to the blogs, TikTok, and Twitter. Screenshots began to appear, with individuals pausing to capture Kirk's contorted face in the middle of a punch and zooming in on Joc's bleeding face. There were a lot of threads on Twitter, with some people saying that this had been years in the making, and others making up crazy theories involving Rashida, baby mothers, and even old label beef. However, this is the unexpected turn of events. In a series of since-deleted tweets, an anonymous account purporting to be Kirk's former assistant stated, this wasn't about Joc and Rashida. Joc was threatening to reveal Kirk's identity, something that would destroy him in his private and public life. Although the precise nature of that something is unknown, the tweets implied that Joc had evidence. Something about stolen royalties, money laundering, and a mistress Kirk was paying to keep quiet. When did Kirk learn that Joc was about to go public? He made the decision to discontinue it at that point in order to keep the secret. Now though, in any case, that secret might be revealed because someone else has already spoken while Joc is unable to. Hours after the altercation, a verified music executive wrote in a private direct message that was posted to a gossip blog, I warned Kirk months ago. He was going to get injured by Joc's mouth. It's worse now though. There are attorneys engaged. NDAs are violated. Both of them will be destroyed by this. As if that weren't enough, Joc's close pal just revealed something much more bizarre to reporters. Hours before the battle, she claims Joc taped a video message that read, if anything happens to me tonight, just know I tried to speak my truth. Let that sink in. Joc may have anticipated this. What if that video turns up? Everything shifts. Because Kirk wasn't the only thing he was going to disclose. The whole empire they established was at issue. And behind it is the horrible, dark truth. The internet becomes a battlefield in a matter of hours. Hashtag Yung Joc and hashtag Kirk were trending on all of the main platforms, not only in the United States, but globally. The brawl was being dissected frame by TikTokers. There were so many intricate conspiracy threads on Twitter that they would make your head spin. What about Instagram? Overflowing with black and white pictures of Joc in a hospital bed with captions like "Pray for Joc" or "Kirk went too far." It was impossible to discern if the images were artificial intelligence, AI, or real. The most terrifying aspect, though, there was a 13-second audio leak. The tiny sound you hear is Joc's having trouble breathing. His words were slurred. However, he states unequivocally, he ain't wanna talk. He just wanted to end me. There is then quiet. That clip was a bomb. Fan pages went viral. Sites for gossip rushed. Kirk too? Quiet, utterly quiet. He didn't make an announcement. No post on Instagram. No subtweet at all. Simply gone. Industry insiders began to speak up in the meanwhile. We always knew something was off between those two, an unidentified love and hip-hop producer stated. However, this went too far. According to another, the network had already canceled future advertisements that would have included them both. The celebrities then became involved. With tears in her eyes and trembling, Tamara Braxton went live. I've witnessed altercations in this industry. However, not in this manner. This served as a caution to all players. Avoid playing with people's emotions. With the mysterious remark, "This is why I avoid those reality boys." 50 Cent uploaded the video. "All of you are playing with fire. If a man ever put his hands on me like that, he wouldn't be breathing." Cardi B tweeted before deleting it. Even Ray J said, "This isn't TV anymore. This is actual life." Joc might have perished, but the most startling answer, Rashida. With a single post, she finally spoke up. Everyone was shocked by the message, even though there was just one image, an old photo of her and Kirk holding hands. "Some truths can't stay buried," she wrote, "particularly when you excavate them with blood." The comment section went crazy. Some pleaded with her to clarify. She was suspected by others of hiding something. "Are you the reason this happened?" One fan even wrote, and received a heartfelt response from Rashida. Things became even more dire at that point. Updates about Joc's condition were posted by a phony page posing as a hospital employee, which said he had internal bleeding and would lose vision in one eye. The hospital denied the disclosures, but it was no longer possible to verify what was true. The distinction between reality and fantasy has vanished. Rapper Scrappy, a close friend of Joc's, posted something that seemed more like a threat than encouragement in the interim. "You silenced my brother by beating him, but don't assume that we're all quiet either." He then left the location tag behind. Fans began to wonder if revenge was imminent. Would Kirk end up being the prey? As if things couldn't get any more dramatic, Kirk's email was hijacked. Screenshots went viral on Twitter and Reddit. Emails purportedly demonstrating monthly payments to a lady known as Consultant B, huge quantities. Memoranda such as "confidential, do not divulge." People started to wonder, who is she? Was this the lady Joc was about to reveal? At that point, a brand new, anonymous Instagram page called The Real Joc Truth appeared. The initial post. Kirk standing outside a motel in a blurry shot. By themselves. "Midnight, the night everything started," is the caption. She was in there, and beneath it was a statement that made everyone shiver. This isn't over. The truth will come out, either with or without Joc. In every scandal, there comes a point at when the conversation pauses, the reposts slow down, and everyone begins to hold their breath. It just happened. It's not over, though. It's only the storm's eye, because the story is changing now. Whispers are growing louder while Joc lies in the intensive care unit, drugged and under observation, not only from admirers, not only from blogs, but from those who work in the field, those who have been anticipating this time, those who, up until now, have been reluctant to speak. A gossip blog received a bombshell from a VH1 unidentified source. This wasn't a fight about disrespect. Exposure was the issue here. Joc discovered something Kirk had been concealing for years, and he had evidence. Emails, recordings of voices, financial transactions. That evening, he said to Kirk, "I will come clean if you don't." That served as the catalyst. There was more to the video than a fight. A man was stifling a danger. Some people now perceive it that way. And all of a sudden, fans are divided. The same individuals who referred to Kirk as a monster are now questioning what he was attempting to defend. And the response? It could be more sinister than anyone had thought, because more voices are emerging now that the fight has been made public. Kirk's former flame, who had vanished from the public eye over 6 years prior, unexpectedly reappeared. She shared a selfie without a description. #RememberMeKirk is the only hashtag worth using. The internet went crazy in a matter of minutes. People started making connections. Around the time Rashida and Kirk were going through it, she reportedly gave birth to a child who disappeared from the public domain. According to some, Kirk may have a child. There are layers to the conspiracy now. Could Joc have been hinting at a secret child? Or worse, did the attack start because he had previously tried? Then a voicemail arrived. A clip, supplied anonymously to a podcast host, was blurry and hardly audible. The voice belongs to a male. Rash. Sentimental. I informed him that I was done filling in for him, that I was no longer able to bear it on my chest. He threatened to ruin me. Said, I'd regret it if I spoke. The host says Yung Joc left it 2 weeks ago, prior to the celebration, before to the battle, prior to him landing in a hospital bed. What if this is true? It transforms everything. All of a sudden, Kirk is more than a man who lost his temper. He is a man who is evasive, a guy guarding secrets too perilous to be revealed. The world of reality shows is in ruins. Production has stopped. Sponsors are pulling away. There are lawyers all around. And the careers of both men? Dangling in midair. Perhaps the most unsettling fact of all, though, is that a hospital report that was leaked just now came to light. Additionally, it claims that Yung Joc's injuries went beyond mere bodily harm. There is harm to the nervous system, loss of memory. He might not even recall the altercation, which raises the question, who will tell us what happened if Joc is unable to? Furthermore, who is already trying to hide the truth? They believe that Joc's silence would prevent the truth from being revealed. They believe the talk would finish after one severe thrashing. However, nobody knew that Joc had prepared for this very time, because the Dropbox link was leaked late last night, just as the story was starting to settle down. Thousands of people received it via direct message. The post was not made public. Twitter didn't have it. It was shared in private among journalists, influencers, and fan accounts who knew exactly how to use it. Within the folder, 2 sound recordings, just 1 video, and a PDF with the title, If I Die, Play This. The audio recordings were discussions on the phone between Joc and a person thought to be a former colleague of Kirk's. Joc states unequivocally on the first call, he has been using ghost LLCs to hide money. In order to safeguard someone connected to that baby problem, he is transferring money. The second tape, it's worse. Kirk is here, not shouting, be calm, chilly. You'll regret it if you let this out, he says. How long we've been cool doesn't matter to me. Don't claim I didn't warn you, but you do what you have to do. The video? A confidential gathering. Joc's voice is audible off camera. He is filming someone giving him documentation, including bank wire transfers, birth certificates, and what appears to be hidden camera footage. One line stands out even though it's difficult to read. This is how he's kept it quiet. This was not meant for you to see. What about the PDF? Joc wrote the account by hand. It tells his whole narrative, including how he discovered Kirk had been using money to silence a woman who says Kirk is the father of her son, a 6-year-old son. Additionally, it was said that Kirk coerced Rashida into keeping quiet by threatening to ruin everything if she ever spoke up. Joc had everything: evidence, names, dates. And that night, the night he passed out on the floor, he intended to go public. The truth is now known, though, because of the leak. And you know what? It's just making matters worse. Since Kirk hasn't made any denials, he has not spoken yet. Rashida took down her previous post. What about the woman with the kid? She went live just now, uncovered face. In her lap, her son. Her eyes were filled with tears. I remained silent to keep my son safe, she stated. Now, though, nothing remains to be safeguarded. Do you want the truth? Kirk owns him, and the only one who ever defended us was Joc. She displayed a DNA test. Unquestionable, verified. The live cutout followed. The floodgates suddenly opened. Fans are now criticizing Kirk. The same supporters who stood up for him are calling for jail time, claiming that this was a cover-up that turned into an attack rather than a fight. What about Yung Joc? He remains hospitalized. However, one of his colleagues shared a mysterious update. You guys believe that this was over. That was only Act 1. It has a single meaning. More is on the horizon. Additional secrets, additional files, more names. Because the truth becomes louder when violence is used to try to silence it. And now? It cannot be stopped. You've seen it now. The battle, the lies, the secrets, and the subsequent quiet. You've seen the video. Listen to the audio leak. Observe the child. Examine the receipts. And there's still more. We would like to know what you think. Do you think Kirk lost his temper to preserve his reputation, or did he go too far and never recover? Was Joc playing a risky game with information that was too strong to hold, or is he a victim? Rashida, what about her? Was she aware? Did she keep quiet to keep Kirk's falsehoods safe or to keep her family safe? Leave a comment below with your opinions. Don't be shy. This is a full-fledged war, not just a single battle. And we're only getting started, I assure you. Due to part 2, it will arrive. The emails, the path of money, the lady in the lodging room. Additionally, there is just one individual whose name has not yet been mentioned. To ensure you don't miss a single twist, subscribe right away. As if Kirk's dominion were on the verge of collapse. If you believe Joc deserves justice, please share this. Additionally, activate those alerts because what follows will make this seem easy. It's not over yet. This is just the start. Keep an eye out.